Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Relishing Dead podcast where we devour everything in the TWD universe. I'm Dawn.
I'm Carol.
I'm Barb.
Eliza.
So the episode was what? Episode 9? Great.
Nine.
Okay. Of Fear, called Sanctuary. And my opinion, I was a little frustrated. I felt like the storyline could have went in a different direction, but that's my opinion. What do you all think?
I would agree. I think that the writing, they had such an opportunity, and I think that they did not utilize it as much as they should have.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sorely disappointed.
I was too, because it could have been a two-parter.
Yeah. There were times when I went, oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time it was like, what?
Yeah.
But it was not the worst episode. I will say that. Yeah.
I have to agree. It wasn't the worst episode, but my first impression was me banging my head up against the wall like I was in Dead City, because I had a lot of questions more than what was going on. And I absolutely do agree with the writing. They missed a lot of opportunities. But I definitely have a lot of questions that, and I was telling the girls pre-show that my favorite part of the whole episode was the after show. I love how they recreated the sanctuary, and everybody knows that how I love the creative part of things, and that was just amazing. So they made it look amazing.
Yeah.
Eliza?
Well, I liked it. I mean, I liked it, but I will reiterate what I said last week. I think they're trying to push it too fast, and because they're trying to wrap it up, and when they're trying to close in and finalize character stories, they're doing it just way too much. I mean, I agree there were some things that had some great opportunities to expand on things. The writers, when I look up the writers on IMDb, it's Robert Kirkman, and I don't know if he's just kind of gotten to where he just doesn't care anymore about the universe, but the writing has definitely gone downhill since the nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
Carol?
They just had an epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. So if Robert Kirkman is one of the writers, if he's actually in the writer's room and he's writing some of these episodes, then that would make a lot of sense, because Fear is very minimalistic in the things that they're in their conversations and the things that they're trying to get out. And it is very much like, it sounds like a comic book, because in a comic book, you only have so many panels to do dialogue, and you have to push the story faster to get to the end. And so that would make sense if Robert Kirkman is in the writing room with these other writers.
But wasn't Robert Kirkman in the writing room with Walking Dead?
No. Not all the time. No, I mean, he was he had a say.
Mm-hmm.
And he would, talk about the comics and where the story is kind of going and how to move it along. But I personally think that the mothership had a better writing team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like cutting corners, like you were saying. They were trying to rush through the ending of Walking Dead. An example, like Ross getting out of the basement. Like how the hell did all that happen? Like they cut corners, thinking we're not going to see that, but we do see that as viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the cutting corners and rushing it doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
No, and they're doing a disservice to the fans when they do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And a disservice to the characters that we love.
Disservice to the characters, absolutely. So,
like I said, I have more questions. So when you dive into it, pardon me for screaming.
Just make sure the hammer is out of reach, Barb. We don't want to see all.
I got something to say.
Oh, that's funny. Okay,
But
so
I mean, I did like it. But I've always liked Fear. I've always enjoyed Fear. I've pushed through several seasons that were agonizing, just so I
yeah,
could keep the
There's
story
some-
going. But I think that the writers or whomever the gods in power were got rid of some of the best characters of the show, and we're not having them this season. Um,
Mhm.
I just think they're. I just think, as with any TV series, if you don't have a plot line that brings you to a close, like Who Shot Jr.,
Right.
they're trying to push it out the door too fast, and so it leaves a lot for us to either infer, or we get agitated because it's not there, it's not tangible.
I just feel like they had a clean slate this year, and they could start off and they could have made it like bam, impactful, and they have just it's awful. Like I don't think Mo Collins' character should they were like saying she died off screen, like she
No.
ran through those people. Like that's not cool. Like
Mm-mm.
that's not cool to the fans. Like we
Mm-mm.
want to know those were important characters to us.
Right.
And
Well,
most
I don't know.
and Sarah Rabinowitz was too scrappy. Her ass ain't going to starve to death.
No,
Also,
no.
come on.
What's your opinion on this? Because Jason in the comments says that they only had 10 days to film each episode.
Well, that's about what they have in The Walking Dead, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, isn't 10 days enough?
Yeah, I think it's like 10 to 14 days to shoot, and then it's like weeks of post production, to clean up.
Right. Oh, Kiki said I read they ended TWD so that Frank wouldn't get royalties anymore. Yeah, we all read that.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
would make sense because of the lawsuits and all of that.
Mhm.
So, all right, do we want to dive into these slides?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Barb's like, yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
All right, so let's get these up and going. All right, so the first scene that we see is Dwight going back to the house in Alexandria.
Alexandria.
In that area, that
Oh, okay.
that whole area of the sanctuary in their house. At least I'm assuming that the house was close because it didn't take them days and days to get to the sanctuary.
Well,
so.
you and I drove from Dwight's house to Alexandria in 7
real
minutes.
Yeah.
7
2
minutes.
miles away at the most. So it was real close. Smart ass. Yeah, Jennifer said it's amazing that he made it all the way there so quickly. Yeah, because weren't they in Texas? So we don't even know what that time jump was, do we?
Well, I'm
I-
hearing a lot of
I
things
think
on the
they're-
internet where Padre was actually in some part of Georgia.
Yeah.
okay.
So it's they're no longer in Texas. They left
Correct.
Texas after the bomb blast.
Yep. Some
Yeah.
part of Georgia.
Okay, Jason said Padre is in Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need Jason to get on here with us.
I know, right? And then we have the picture after he lights the lantern. We have the picture of him and Sherry at the house. And we knew that he kind of has moved on, and now he's at this house, and he's like reliving the conversations with Daryl and all of that.
Mm.
And I love the flashbacks. This was the saving grace for this episode was the flashbacks.
Yeah.
I think. And I just love that. So my mind was blown this evening just a few moments ago. Ladies, you want to tell them why?
Well, Dwight picks up and starts carving this, and he later ends up giving it to June. Yes,
Yeah.
for what we all assumed would be her new finger. That's not what Carol was thinking.
Look,
But I said she could. Could take it off and use it as the queen on chess. But yeah, he
Well,
gave
she
it
was
to her as
thinking
her
was-
finger.
Yeah, she was thinking you could take it off and use it something else. But
look, John's been dead for a while now. Okay, a girl's got to,
It's not big enough.
it's kind of an insult.
I know.
Kind of an insult to John, though.
Anissa, he gave her the finger.
Yeah,
Right, you gave
I
her the
missed
finger.
it completely, Anissa. I'm like, why is he giving her a chess piece? Like, what the
Well, why
hell?
is he giving her a wooden finger? Come on now.
Yeah, I-
Samara, not wooden. Ouch, that's a lot of splinters.
Destiny size does matter.
And don't forget the splinters.
Yeah, no doubt. I completely missed
Hey,
it.
it's always hard.
Right? Exactly. Thank you.
Oh my God, you people. Okay, so it's a finger, Carol.
So apparently it's a finger, which I am just learning tonight because I had no clue. I was trying to figure out. I was trying to make all sorts of connections because, like, him and Daryl used a chess, one of those little things that he carved as a figurine to communicate. And I was like, what did he make for her? You know?
Right.
Anissa,
One,
it's
two,
all in
three.
the hips.
Yeah. I don't know. I just completely missed it. Thank you, ladies, for setting me straight.
Sure, no problem.
Who is this guy?
Oh, I can't see. Oh,
I mean,
Well, the only connection I had is, it was kind of, for me, it was kind of a twofold. It reminded him of, what was her name? Amy, or Sherry's sister.
right,
Remember
because
they were going out.
and the insulin, yes.
And then it also kind of reminded me of when he went out to find the insulin, kind of, Negan's journey to find the chemo medicine.
Right.
I think for this character, for me, it was more of, he was a redirection
Yeah.
for Dwight, a refocus to find something that would help someone beyond himself, because he was so wrapped in his own pain and anger that this kind of snapped him out of it and redirected him.
Yeah. And he was the conduit to get Dwight to the sanctuary too.
and see, that was my other question. Is after all that, he freaking dies. I mean, just like Negan and his wife.
Yeah.
He does all that just for them just to be dead by the time they come back.
But why didn't he go to Alexandria?
That's my other question. Freaking another hop, skip, and a jump. Why the hell?
And he begged. I mean,
Sherry was the one that said, "Let's go there and kill Negan." So
And
Yes,
he
that's
was
the
even-
other thing. They were talking about killing Negan and going back, and they didn't even bring up his name. She didn't.
mhm.
No, and all that, you hear from Dwight is he's screaming out to Daryl, "Why didn't you kill me when you had the chance? I'm here
Right.
now." He doesn't even know Daryl's in France. But I really just think that this guy was just more of a snapper, snap Dwight out of his
Mhm.
self-wallowing, and just to give him a redirection.
Yeah, I know, Gina. It's not in the script.
And then when he said that he was a diabetic, well, then that triggered Sherry's sister. Was her Lucy or something?
I don't know. Somebody answer that in the comments.
Yeah. Tell us what Sherry's sister's name is.
I almost said Amy, but that ain't it.
No. Here you go, Barb.
There we go. Sanctuary.
There's the sanctuary.
It's so beautiful.
I know.
Tina. Yes, it's Tina. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Tina is Sherry's sister's name. They did such a great job recreating the sanctuary. I mean, such a beautiful job.
Like, Carol, I know you and I and Sandy and maybe some others in the audience had the chance to see Sanctuary when it was Sanctuary.
Yes,
Didn't you go
I
on
did.
that tour? Or Barb, you did. Okay, Barb,
Yep.
you did.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
It was amazing.
it was amazing. Yes,
and right in front of it was the junkyard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was pretty cool. And then the boat scene with Aaron and Rick.
Right.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
Yeah, they did such a great job recreating it. And even without the flashbacks in this episode, your brain still flashed back scenes from previous episodes in the mothership.
Mhm.
So,
I even noticed the windows,
Uh-huh.
the coloring of the windows and everything. It really, yeah. No Kiki. Oh, the original was? Yes, the
Yes.
original Sanctuary was on studio property.
Yep.
It was originally the prison.
right.
Yep. And so was the junkyard was on studio property too.
Mhm.
and it was all together when I went.
I love the flashbacks.
Hmm.
I had to grab several of them because they did such a great job.
I wish they had had one. He had had a flashback of Simon on the fence. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, I was looking for that guy that Dwight put down on the motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
I was looking for that guy, but I couldn't quite see him. I didn't notice if he was in there or not. I
Right.
kind of almost thought he was the guy behind the guy in the blue shirt, but I was looking because that's what Barb does. So here they're having the conversation. I'm not going to go in. You're going to go in. Are you going to go in? I'm not going in.
Right.
Anyway, Dwight looks really good there, I got to say.
Yeah, it's his good side of his face.
That's definitely Dwight's good side.
You're so bad, Barb.
He's so photogenic over there. I love the fact that they used the smelted walkers.
That was crazy.
That they were still there. They were still fighting them. You know, I loved that.
Well, I'm with Jennifer in the comments. That's another one of my questions. Like, who are these new group of people, and how did they know how to do that?
Well, these are all leftovers from the sanctuary. These are all walkers that Eugene smelted. They would have had to have been, because most of them were walking around, you know.
Fear is still a little bit behind Walking Dead, so it's still a little bit behind. But those other guys that were there, you know, they may have been remnants of the saviors that left around and knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And that was my other question. If these new saviors are there, how come they haven't already gone after Alexandria? How come I mean, I know half of them are over at the Commonwealth, but again, those are my
because they
questions.
can't beat the troopers.
But they're not at Alexandria.
I'm sure there's some troopers there to protect.
True.
Oh yeah, because that's Outpost 22.
Yeah. Regina said, did we notice the name? What name, Regina?
Yeah, she said Tina. It was after we got the name.
Yeah.
Tina.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Several of my friends are the metalhead walkers. They loved filming. That was from Jason. And the picture on the right, I half expected Negan to walk out on that platform.
Right?
I needed it to happen so bad, but I knew it wasn't going to, but I wanted that flashback. I wanted Negan standing up there and you know, doing his thing. So the hallways inside the sanctuary.
One of those halls had Daryl's red chair sitting there with his little butt in it.
Yeah. And you notice that the chair is there, but it's not red. It's metal.
Yeah. It's because I've got the red chair.
Because you've got the red. That's right.
That goes to Destiny in May.
Right. This cracked me up. The fish was still there. The fish was still on the wall. I thought that was the funniest thing. I had to get a screenshot of it. I thought that was the best.
I don't know if you guys saw, Jason posted on his feed earlier, maybe today or yesterday, that he has the desk and the lamp out of Dwight's room.
That's
from there, from Sanctuary.
Pretty cool.
And his friend owns that fish. That's funny.
That cracked me up that the fish was there. There's the man, the myth, the legend. This was a flashback that Dwight has.
My boy, my boy.
Yes. Boy.
Hey, you got yours, hush.
Look, I can appreciate Denny and Daddy Winchester, okay? I can appreciate them. Come on now. This is Jay's family.
Yeah.
And this was the whole thing about Dwight thinking about Finch and Sherry. Excuse me, I have cats playing with something. I have to excuse their noise. So that must have hit him hard.
Did you get a screenshot of the infinity symbols that were all around Sanctuary?
Have you met me?
Well, yeah, okay, never mind.
What you talking about, honey? What's that up there in the top right corner?
There
What
we
is
go.
that?
There we go. There we go. Yeah, and I just thought, for me, this whole episode for Dwight was kind of reconciling to his past altogether and healing and forgiveness. I think forgiveness for himself for things in his past and healing beyond the loss of his son, because he kept seeing everything going through here of recognition of Sherry, and that, like he told her at the end, that it was always going to be them forever. I do love the shot of him looking into the furnace, because that was, if they even say it in the after show, that was when everything changed for him.
Yeah. I love that. And it was funny because when he was in the picture on the top right corner, I knew exactly where he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that most everybody in the audience knew that that's where he was. That
Right.
as soon as he turned the corner, he was going to be right there at the furnace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I loved that. And then we see the golden iron. And this, of course, this is a flashback of his. He's remembering this.
And I think it was at the same time, that's when he basically had to give Sherry up, wasn't it, to Negan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As part of the additional punishment.
As part of him, as part of Negan not killing Dwight. That was the deal. Then there's this guy. And we know instantly, because they're standing in front of the furnace, that this guy's going in, just like the doctor did. Knew it. This was one of the greatest part of the episode, was when this whole interaction happens. I agree, Jason. I liked this. And there we go. Negan, wee! Or as my kids would say, yeet. So Negan's yeeting the doctor into the furnace, as Dwight also yeets this other guy into the furnace. And I love the fact that the guy's legs are doing this outside of the furnace. That cracked me up. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, everybody knew that dude was going to die. Everybody knew he was going in the furnace. There was no question.
Yep.
And at that moment, you kind of think, did Dwight have that whole Maggie moment where he realizes that he's just like Negan?
Exactly what I was thinking of why he did that in the first place. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You think?
You learn, or you do as you learn.
Right.
No matter how much you try to get away from it sometimes.
Yep.
Like he said, you can't go back.
Right. Then we see Jay. Jay has turned. And Barb, was it you or was it Dawn that kind of was thinking about Lucille in this part?
Not me. No. I was saying, yeah. Well, I was saying that he did all that, and then just to come back to see him dead, like Negan did with Lucille.
Right.
Yeah, went through all that just to come back to him being dead. But I know what his journey was, but it still sucks.
Yeah, yeah. And he even says here, I nothing I do changes. Nothing. I can't do anything to change. And again, he's just beating himself up. Ever since he left and joined the Fear cast, especially when he first joined, he kept saying, "I'm trying not to be the guy that I was. I want to be different."
Right.
And he still feels like he's trying to do that.
And he's calling out to Daryl, "You should have killed me when you had the chance." He's lost hope and all desperation. Dwight's just done.
Yeah.
And then just like an angel, Sherry appears.
Da-da.
And who was it? Dawn, you were saying that you didn't think his acting was up to par?
No, I didn't say that.
Somebody said it.
No,
Dwight and Sherry were like the best acting so far on the show besides Strand.
Because that's what I was thinking of. Dwight's best acting was actually in that scene, but yeah.
Right. I would agree with that. Austin Amelia he has not let me down in his acting at all in Fear, even if the bad writing and all of that.
No, I was talking about Dove.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. We'll get to her in a minute.
Somebody got shot.
So I had a strange question. When they're coming to the truck, the bullet hole's in the windshield, but the gunshot wound is in her abdomen.
Dawn.
Oh,
Dawn.
Why did she leave the house anyways? She was already there. Like, why did she go out and get shot and then drive back? Where was she going?
I don't know where she was going, but she said that she was leaving because she couldn't trust them to take care of her, to keep her safe. I do remember that conversation with June. I mean, I don't remember the finger thing, but I do remember that conversation.
But then she would just leave and leave them stranded?
Well, what does she care?
and how'd she know to go there? I mean, unless she followed Sherry creeping in behind her.
Yeah.
Here's little Negan wannabe.
Yeah. Little Baldy.
Negan 2.0, no.
It's funny because at first when I saw this guy show up on screen, I thought maybe it was Casey, and I got all excited thinking it was him, and then I realized no, it's not Casey. So they're taking Odessa into the sanctuary, and Sherry kind of stops and has her moment of, oh shit, I'm back in this place again.
Yeah.
And kind of looks around.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight's already had that moment. Now she's having it.
Yeah.
And Dwight notices the dude in the furnace. He's still moving around, and
he's still cooking.
He's still cooking. He's rare right now. He's not
medium rare.
He might be rare, medium rare, but he's not quite medium yet. He's got a little bit more cooking to do. I love this scene. Not necessarily the dialogue and all of that, but when they first walk in, you walk into the doctor's office area, the infirmary, and you see the pregnancy tests, and Sherry has her flashes and all of that, and remembering that whole interaction, when she was there taking her pregnancy test.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really, really good.
Yeah, it was great how they completely just recreated that. I mean, I felt like I was immediately back in the original infirmary.
If I'd had more time, I would have grabbed some screenshots. I was kind of rushing it today, so I do apologize that I don't have the callback shots. But that's pretty gross that there's a pregnancy test just laying around, though. But I'm sure that's not the worst of the stuff that could be laying around during the apocalypse. So,
hey, we saw condoms in Atlanta on the parking lot. So,
yes, and that was without the apocalypse.
All right.
Pretty grim. This whole conversation was confusing. This is what I was referring to when she's talking to June, and she says, that she can't trust the adults to take care of her, and I'm thinking, well, how old is she? And comparing to some of the other, I mean, wasn't she raised on Padre?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was, no, she wasn't raised on Padre. Well, yeah, she was, but she was taken to Padre as a child.
But if she was raised at Padre, didn't they teach the kids survival skills?
Defend themselves, yes.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, from what I get from this conversation was that the adults had lied to all of the kids. And I think now it's more of a, I can't trust you to take care of me, to know that you're going to tell me the truth in what you're doing, because
Okay.
And I think it's just a culmination of her having been finding out that she's been lied to, that she was actually taken from her parents weren't dead, and I think it's just that kind of all total distrust, you
Okay.
know, and her knowing too that June could not help some of the kids, that did die on June's watch.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then, because I was
Plus,
just like,
June's not even really helping her.
Right.
no, she's not.
Well, she's kind of frozen, and I think that's something I talked with Carol about before we started. Was this is a redemptive story, a redemptive moment for her as well, because I think June has kind of frozen. And I asked Carol, I said, when was it that Rick said, I don't want to be the leader anymore because I'm getting everyone killed, everyone's dying? And she said it was around the prison.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the same thing with June. Is she's like, I don't want to treat anyone anymore because everybody I'm trying to help winds up dying.
Mm-hmm.
She's, Finch. What was the other girl's name? Rose, her daughter Rose. And then I think there was a couple of other children. So she's kind of in that nothing I do is helping them. They're all dying anyway. So I think that's why she didn't want to do it herself. And maybe she feels insecure having lost her trigger finger.
I
It's
thought it was because of her finger, because the operations, or
it could be a culmination of all of it. Yeah.
mm.
And Sherry locks Dwight in the room, and there's another one of the eternity symbols. This is where I thought for sure Sherry was going to bite it.
I think we
Me
all
too.
did.
Would have loved to have seen that.
I
Got
love
it.
how she just stood around on the radio and the walkers were just so close.
Yeah.
I was
Right.
like, I want excitement.
I want death. I want
Yes.
dismemberment.
Dawn's
Yes.
like, kill them all, kill them all.
No.
Rip her apart.
I was being the governor.
Yes. Yeah, I was sorely disappointed.
Or at the very least, she should have gotten bitten.
Yes.
Right. So somehow Dwight is able to punch a complete hole
Another question.
in a cement wall, and his hand doesn't look like his face.
Right.
He's got some bruises, he's got some blood, but he still has knuckles in his fingers, and that would never happen trying to punch a cement wall.
No.
But he sure excavated it, though, didn't he? Look at it.
Mhm.
Got rid of that symbol completely.
Maybe it was just textured and maybe it wasn't real concrete.
Right?
Maybe it was just textured paint.
It was just ruined after all these years, and just softer.
And Sherry is on the ground and she's having flashes of Finch. And her moment of realization that she just went out there because she was ready to give up too, just like she blamed Dwight of doing.
Hmm. I think I'd rather have gone Dwight's way than her way. I wouldn't want to be eaten by walkers.
Yeah. I thought this was funny. He's laying there on the ground and all of a sudden there's Dwight. Now he's there to save her like she was at the beginning of the episode where she came and rescued him.
True love.
Ah.
Mm.
What, Dawn?
I liked the idea of the walkers just tearing down the walls of the sanctuary. I don't know how many years it's been, but now they can do it, whereas before they couldn't.
Well, remember, we got variants now. We got
Well,
variants.
Well, it's just like that barricade in Dead City, like Dawn was talking about. All those barricades, all those walkers behind it, and until he shows up, they finally
Yeah.
knock it down.
Yeah.
It's really sad that we're tearing this episode apart, isn't it, guys?
Yes, it is.
Maybe they were just
anything nice to say at all.
Mm-hmm.
I love the makeup on the crispy walker. The guy that was in the furnace.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. And I'm glad that he took out that dude.
Mhm.
I thought this was really cool. This was kind of a shift. Like at the beginning of the episode, we see Dwight with all his demons and stuff, and they've gone into the furnace because the fire is out. And then now everything is destroyed and everything's taken care of. And now they're kind of emerging from their pain and their anguish. And it's like a new beginning.
Yeah.
Jason, y'all being rough. Glad I wasn't in this one. And yes,
I'm
Regina,
glad-
thank you. She corrected me. I meant Daryl Dixon, not Dead City.
Yeah.
Well, I really like the fact that they use the furnace for that because that's where it started with Dwight and him going back in there and then coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That was probably the best part for me.
And it it gave them. I mean, didn't Dwight even say it? They had to come through the bad to see the good. So. I mean, I am glad that he and Sherry reconciled. They just have to be together. They're kind of one of those couples that have been through so much shit. You just want them to be together at the end.
Yeah, I was pissed off at the ending of the last season when Dwight and Sherry broke up. I was like, we went through all of this just to lose that couple,
Regina said, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Yeah, I think they had a little bit of a rebirth and a reawakening in themselves and in each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Dwight gave her the finger inside the ashes.
There's the finger.
See how tiny it is?
I'm never going to live this down.
See how tiny it is?
That's just so funny. I can't believe that that's a damn finger.
Schweit.
That's just too funny. Schweit. Dairy.
Well, you guys were talking about how different timelines it is, and I don't remember who was in the comments that said, wasn't Finch like 10 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jennifer said that. Jennifer Davidson. She said that. And I think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they all load up in the truck and they all decide that they're going to go back and make things right.
And then they saw little Finch and the bird.
Yes.
And they saw the little finch. I did not get a screenshot of that, but I thought that was really cute when they saw the finch.
Yeah.
So now we're switching over to Strand and what he's been up to. The naughty little boy that he is.
So he's taken back on the persona that he had in the tower.
I don't know that that's the case.
Or is this a flashback to the tower?
Well,
No.
this is where he's at.
Is that where
this
Madison
real
was?
time. Huh?
Is that where Madison was? Like, was she in that room?
I don't know.
Because I was
I know-
thinking maybe it's the Padre place in that room they kept her in. I don't know.
I don't think so, but I think this is a different location. But Strand has completely outfitted this room for a young girl
Mm-hmm.
with the clothes and the records and the record player.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand when he said, "You're gonna help me save Padre." I
Well,
kind of
didn't-
looked at him and like, dude, I'm 7.
But didn't Madison give him keys to Padre?
Yes.
Yeah. She did.
So that's where she was held captive. And I was wondering if that's the same room and he just changed it.
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even tell that the damn thing was a finger. You're asking me?
I still want to know who the mother is.
And when you look at how
Alicia.
Strand, yeah,
That's what I said.
when you look at how Strand looks, he's taken back on that look he had when he was at the tower. He doesn't have that Anton look. The only way
agree.
that I knew that it was more current was that he was speaking German. But he does have that tower look about him.
Jason said that you can see the day marks on the wall.
What the hell's a day mark?
The hash marks when somebody stays a certain
okay.
amount of time.
So is that Madison?
Possibly.
May have been.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was a countdown for something, but I was wondering. That's good. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason.
Madison did, he says. He confirmed it.
Yes, I was right.
There you go, girl. But see, that is Tower Strand right there.
Yeah.
See,
I agree.
I disagree. I think that is Anton Strand dressed. I think it's a combination of both, and I think that Strand is finding a happy medium because there was no malice in his face when he was talking to the little girl about saving Padre.
No.
So that's why I think that he's kind of finding a happy medium of all of his identities and kind of blending them all together, because there's no human on earth that is 100% good, and there's a few that are 100% bad. I won't say that, but there are a few that are, most people are right in the middle. Most people have a happy medium.
Jennifer said Stranton.
Granton, I love it.
No, I
I
think you're
feel
right.
like he's doing Madison's legacy. Like I feel like he's doing that for her. That's why he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think that this is Tower Strand. I think it's a blend of all of his personalities. And there you have it.
Did you get that picture of the dress?
I did not. I don't have it.
I think that dress, well, you have that picture. If you could put that picture back up, not that it's a big thing, but there's a dress hanging in the background and it looks like Penny's dress. No, the other one, the one that you just had up, the 3 pictures. Yeah, you see that red dress
Yeah,
and the white shirt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of Penny's dress.
I've got
Destiny
it right.
says she's starting to wonder if Alicia is still alive and Troy is hiding her.
I've got it right here. If I can share my screen real quick. Let's see.
I didn't have many callbacks other than the
there's
flashbacks in their own heads, but
There's the dress,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the
Oh, yeah.
dress.
you
Yeah.
know.
Was Penny.
Wow.
Yeah, but when I don't remember, I think it was when we were first talking about Troy's kid, I was like, oh, it's Alicia's, and everybody's like, no. But that's true. We never saw her pregnant. Was there ever a time where we've never seen her in the episodes?
Yeah. Yeah.
But for that many that many years, though.
Well, but we don't
yeah.
know when she was left alone. I mean, well, that wouldn't have been enough time to have a baby that old, a daughter
Yeah.
that old, because there wasn't enough time in between her getting, well, yeah, there would be.
What are you thinking? She's like, what, 8, 9?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
because
like that, because when she left the group and she stayed behind thinking that she was going to die, then we find out when the next season comes along, the last season, there's like 6 to 8 years difference, right?
yeah, but she would have. I mean, when they blew up and killed Troy and killed Troy's father, and they left the ranch, they went on to other places. They went on over to the stadium from there. So
Right.
there was time in that window that she would have had a baby and shown. So I don't think it was.
I think
don't
if it were to have happened, she would have come across Troy after she left the group and thought she was dying.
Yeah.
Then
But,
she
you
would have
know,
met Troy, had the baby, and then the time jump.
but
That's
I think
the only way that it could happen.
yeah, but I think that Troy made the comment it was the woman that pulled him from the dam.
Yeah, we don't know who that is.
Mm-mm. And we may not. So
True, it might not even be somebody we know, as Kiki said.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that Alicia, because I don't think she cared that much for Troy when they were at the ranch. I'd
He
have
could
to
have
go back and
raped her.
rewatch. Huh?
What, Dawn?
Could have raped her.
True,
Yeah.
because he was a bad.
Wow.
Well, we'll find out soon enough when Alicia comes back.
If she comes back.
Well, I'm 90% sure she's going to come back,
Oh, yeah.
because that would be a good way to round out Madison's story.
It's going to be that last 5 minutes as Madison lays dying.
Yes. After she's been bit. Absolutely. Or her head bashed in by Troy, but she has a tiny little blue eye.
The blue eye with a blue teardrop and a blue eye.
And that's it. That's all she has.
It was funny too because when we saw the daughter, she had like more of like a lighter, darker skin.
Mhm.
So I was thinking,
She wasn't looking too spunky.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she wouldn't. I mean, Alicia's not dark. You know, she looked a little bit darker.
Yeah.
What if she is the cure?
Yeah, but Nick was dark.
Yeah. Nick was dark.
Nick.
Her brother.
And their daddy was
Yeah, I'm
dark.
just trying to
Travis.
picture his face. I actually think he was lighter than Alicia, don't you think, Dawn?
He had the more darker features.
He had that olive skin.
And Travis was, Latino.
Travis was Hispanic.
So
Mhm.
What if it's Luciana?
Luciana.
Or, well, I don't think Luciana would have allowed anybody to keep her kid.
No.
The only thing about he was the stepdad.
Yeah, Travis was the stepdad. Yeah. So we don't know what the dad looked like.
It'd be terrible if Troy came back and said it was some trucker chick he met on the road. I would be like, Mo. I'd be calling up Mo going, you're never going to guess what fucking shit they did to you off screen. You had
Not only did they kill you off, but they also took your child away from
you
you.
had Troy's
I
baby.
got it. It's Rosita.
It's Rosita. Yes. Thank you.
Someone else she did.
Not the father.
Father, not the father.
Damn, you guys, you were brutal.
Lord, I hope it isn't.
That was a great episode, wasn't it, guys?
Oh yeah, I loved it. Loved it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, top 10.
Let's wrap it up and put a bow on it.
So, we've got 3 more episodes. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
No,
do we want to?
Regina.
Do we want to throw any hints out about what we're going to do between then and Ricky Rick?
Ricky Rick.
Oh, I
Who's
can't
Ricky
wait.
Rick?
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Go
Was
ahead.
it February 25th? Is that what they said? Is that what
Yeah, me and Carol will be like this the whole time.
We'll be like, oh, did you see?
Yes.
No, they were passing out.
Ooh. Oh.
None of this deep moaning and groaning on the podcast,
Oh,
y'all.
just wait for the appreciation.
And no matter how horrible the show is, they're gonna love it.
That's right. Yes.
Just because he's in it. Yep.
He could just stand there for 45 minutes and we'd be like, oh my God, it was the best episode ever. Did you see? Did you see?
That's what we
my
said about
God.
Destiny. You can't hate Daryl Dixon because it's Daryl.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all are killing me.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
like,
gonna
he
be
just
so
stood there,
good.
y'all. He didn't even say anything.
Wouldn't
It was
it
the best ever.
fantastic?
It's gonna be so good. You just watch.
So, do you want to talk about any possible plans that we've got between the end of Fear and Tricky Ricky coming back?
Well, Carol came up with a brilliant idea for the Patreons that they could choose an episode. We would do use Barb's spinner, and the Patreon gets to choose the episode of us to discuss, and then they get to be a co-host.
I think
And
that's
that's
a
any
great
episode
idea.
that's their favorite. It can be anything.
Yep. And it can be any of the TWD universe.
Yes.
Hopefully they won't pick a Fear episode, but okay.
Why not?
Y'all are terrible.
Oh, Lord have
I think
mercy.
we're safe.
I don't think they like Fear, y'all.
I used to.
It's not that I don't like it. It's this, I feel like I'm being let down because
Yeah.
there's so much of an opportunity. And again, I love the locations and I love the makeup and the artistry. I mean, we've had some really great walkers.
Oh my God, yeah.
Last episode, we had those great walkers like Jeff, they did the barnacle walkers and stuff. And
Mhm.
I mean, we've had some great walkers. And we've had some fantastic locations too. And I love the flashbacks and the callbacks and things like that. It's just I'm kind of, I don't know, disappointed in some of the writing and some of the acting. There's a few that I've been watching that feel like they're calling it in,
Right.
But
So if you want to be in on that, you can join our Patreon.
yes, you
Yep.
can.
And anybody who wants to be on camera, they'll let us know, and then we do a little drawing and pick that person. That person gonna have their favorite episode. Another little perk to being a Patreon
Yep.
as a
Jason's going to
co-host.
have to be a Patreon if he wants a fear episode.
That's right. That's right, Jason. You want to talk about them walkers? Come on now.
That's it.
They're all gonna pick a fear now just because you
I
said
know.
that.
I know. Just because I opened
I
my
would.
mouth, but that's okay.
But it has to be their favorite, so they're going to have to discuss it too.
Yes,
Yep.
they'll have to be well versed in it because Barb is the queen of trivia and she will pick it apart. So, but we would love
Pity
to
the
have
fool.
you.
Pity the fool. Pity the fool.
Yes. So.
No, it'll be good because you've got a lot of episodes y'all can pick from. Even Tales or the origin stories, those would be good.
Mm-hmm. World Beyond.
What, you don't like Tales?
Only the alpha one. That's it.
He keeps waiting for them to do the Lonely Walker. And I'll tell you what, if I'd have had a chance to meet Greg Nicotero this past time, I would have asked him specifically about the new Tales if they're going to do one, and would he do it? Did you do it?
I didn't say it like that, but I did say that Dawn had a great backstory, that we would love to know his backstory.
Ooh, damn.
What the hell are you doing?
She had to put Rick up there for me and Dawn.
We were talking about Greg Nicotero.
Yes, okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I did mention it. I said, that Dawn wanted to know that would be a great backstory, and he went, ooh, or something like that. I don't remember his facial expression. I had so much going on there at that time.
It was just so much going on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I had
I'm like you.
saying Rick could be Brody, so he was like, phew.
Yeah, I'm like you, Dawn. The only episode, there was 2 episodes of Tales that I liked. The one with Anthony Edwards. I liked that storyline. But then the alpha, I was like everybody else. I think I was disheartened when they didn't pick characters that we knew and gave them backstory episodes.
Yeah.
Right. And it didn't even really have to be a character. It could have been a walker, It could have been a location. It could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. So one of you guys told me that there was that Sam Witwer had said that there was, or that he had created a whole backstory for his walker, the tank walker,
Oh. How about the one that was in the trunk that Maggie closed the hood on?
That's the one I want to know about.
I'm wondering if that's from the webisode. I wonder if that's from the webisode.
Huh.
Remember when he puts her in the trunk from the webisode?
And I'd have to go back and
Remember,
refresh on that.
she's the one in the hospital because the nurse poisons her, and then he ends up being alive, and she thinks he's dead. It's the one with the don't open, dead inside.
I'll have to go back.
Yeah.
I'm wondering because he puts her in the trunk or the back of the car, and I was wondering if it was her.
Interesting.
Or how the hell did that well walker fall into the well like that? Big fat guy.
Otis Pushkin.
Yeah.
But the girl in the trunk would interest me.
Me too. I have always wondered about that backstory, how she got in there, what happened to her. That was a rough walker right there.
Because remember, the nurse that was there told her she gave her the medicine, so she wanted to die or whatever.
I am absolutely drawing a blank on that entire episode.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and when he's alive, because he's inside fighting all those walkers because they think he's dead, and he comes out of the door, the don't open, dead inside, and then she's already took the shot, and he's like, "I'm still alive," and then she ended up dying.
Huh.
And then he put her in the trunk, I thought, when they left.
Kiki says that's Kurt Russell's son.
So Wyatt Russell?
Yeah. And Anissa says it was The Oath.
Who's Kurt Russell's son?
Wyatt Russell.
But But from where?
In that
Who we
episode,
talk-
in that episode, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Yeah.
Jason says he would like the governor's backstory should have happened. That would have been a good one.
Like it should have started from where his wife died in the car wreck. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now the webisodes, the tales that you're talking about, those would go. Are they still on AMC?
No, they're on YouTube.
Oh,
Oh, wait, the tales or the webisodes?
tales.
The webisodes.
Which one are you talking about?
Webisodes.
Webisode.
Okay.
Kiki
Tales.
says first was Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. So she was Ellen Green. Ellen Green was in that webisode.
Oh wow. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's what Greg Nicotero said. He said those webisodes were like the first spinoffs when he was talking to us.
Ah, okay.
I'll have to go back and rewatch those then.
Yeah, I am confused, Regina.
Yeah, I'll need to rewatch them too.
Yeah.
I like White
So
Rose. I love
so
Ellen
there's-
Green.
So there's the webisodes, there's the tales, there's Fear, there's Walking Dead, there's World Beyond, Am I
Dead
right?
City, Daryl Dixon.
Dead City, Daryl Dixon. Is Red Machete or is that part of the webisode?
That's the webisodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's
See, I remember that one.
there's 7 lines running of the Walking Dead universe. Then
Where was Terry Crews?
That was
Tales of the Walking Dead?
That was what?
Tales.
Tales.
Okay.
What are web things?
Spider webs, which Carol hates. So
I hate them.
no, apparently the webisodes are on YouTube. I'll have to go
Yeah.
back and check them out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So if you guys want, I'm going to post here in a minute about the Patreons where you can go. And if you want to join in the fun and tell us your favorite episode of whatever series of the TWD universe, and then we will gather everybody's names, and then Barb will do her cute little spinny thing, and we will pick a name, and we will have you guys on. But we're going to finish up the Fear first, and then we're going to start into that and do all that kind of fun stuff while we're waiting for.
And we'll try to also have on maybe some of our Walker friends, maybe Jeff and Brandon, because they've been on both shows. Maybe try to get some cosplayers, but we've got a couple of months that we can play and have fun and do things. So yeah, be a Patreon and come play with us. We'll do that more than once, right? Where we have a Patreon on.
Oh,
I think
absolutely,
we'll be
yeah.
able to do it more than once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come play with us. Just don't give Carol any wood.
She
Look,
gets
you
word
guys-
every night.
For all day long, honey.
Another
What,
good thing we might do is character development. Like take a character from season 1 to
Mhm.
now, dissect that character.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. Either how did they evolve or devolve?
Jim. Oh no, he died.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see Jim's walker.
So and Eric.
Waiting to see Jim just show up somewhere randomly, and like Daryl or Rick comes across him while him and Michonne are trying to get back to Alexandria. You know what I'm saying?
And Eric too. They never put Eric down.
I never put
Yeah.
Eric down. Maybe him.
Well, I told Mo if I messaged Mo and I said that we had seen that commentary where they said that the other people went off and basically starved to death. I said, I want to see Walker Sarah with her ball cap on pushing Walker Wendell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be funny.
And then I want him to bite June.
I want some death. I want some destruction. I want dismemberment. I want blood. And I'm not getting it. And it's making me sad.
You guys are so
I'd
bad.
say something right there, but I'll be nice.
Say it.
Why don't you use that piece of wood? You might get your wish.
Yeah, I'll get some blood and some splinters out of that thing. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one, Kiki. I want some gore.
Yes, I do too. I was wanting Sherry to die. I was wanting Rosita to die, like not like she did, not all.
Beautiful with the lipstick
Yes.
and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
I just see you two at like a gladiator coliseum. Y'all be going, "Ugh, kill him, kill him."
We'll be sitting up there like Madame Jeanette.
Yeah,
Yes.
release the Kraken.
Carol, did you ever watch the movies Hostel? Of course you did. Hostel.
Hostel? Oh yes, that's the gore level that I want. Is
Me
Hostel.
too. And
I
that
want-
and Saw. I love that and Saw.
Yes, if they give me those kinds of levels, man, I will be a happy camper.
Me too.
I think that's where it's changed. It's like, well, I read somewhere where they said after the episode of Abraham and Glenn, like they lost 25% of their viewership. And I think that's why they went away so much from the gore.
Well, and that's exactly when it happened too. Was after all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Disney's having to rewrite Bambi and take out the scene where Bambi's mother gets shot because people are all complaining about it.
That was the best part. I cried.
I know. I yelled at the screen. I'm like, dinner.
Dinner.
It makes
I'm telling y'all, when the apocalypse happens, y'all better outrun Carol because she will throw your asses to the zombies.
Yes, absolutely. Angel's already volunteered to be the first appetizer to go. So, yeah, she's like, just I'm done.
Just lay down and die.
Yeah.
Funny.
All right.
All right. I think we're good.
Mm-hmm. We'd like to thank you, our Patreons and financial supporters of our show. Destiny Larmar, Terry and Kay Collier, Sandy Morrison, Lauren Perkins, Ben and Melissa Gilbert, Pamela Blythe, Marianne Craig, and Dustin Baker.
And hopefully more names to come.
Yes. And this is where you can watch and listen. We're on YouTube. We are on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on Instagram. We're not on TikTok yet, are we?
No.
We are.
I am. Me and my silly videos.
But yeah, if you want to listen to us in the car, just look us up on Spotify and then you can watch us on our page or on YouTube.
And then there we go.
And a very special thank you to our camp mommy and poppy, and that would be Oscar and Casey.
Okay.
And hopefully we get some announcements soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We got Lauren, so that was cool. Or Lori Holden, excuse me.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hey,
excited
they're
about that.
they're way far ahead of Atlanta Comic Con.
So I was just going to say, Elise has been asking for the Atlanta one. I mean, sell tickets on sale, but don't tell us who's coming.
Right.
I got my fingers crossed for David
For at Atlanta or at camp.
Camp to be with Lori Holden.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm
Yeah,
just got
no,
my,
it did feel-
I want David and Josh there because I want to watch you squirm all weekend. I want to see you running back and forth, just like
I know.
I'll
that.
help her out.
Huh?
I'll take one off her hands.
You
No
got
problem.
your man. You got Teo and Aaron.
And I need a second.
You can't wear your Josh shirt to get your picture made with David.
He was so sweet. He was so sweet at Lexington. He would be. I think he would have fun at camp. I really do.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I absolutely believe he would too. Yeah.
Because he was so personal. Because he came out from behind the desk and he was out there with everybody mingling. So
I actually never saw him behind the desk. He was out there the entire time. Like some people will do their autographs and then come out and around. He was out there the whole time,
Yeah.
standing.
That's the way Cuddles did at Fandemic. He
Oh, I
stood
know.
he stood at the end, never was behind. He kind of stood down at the end.
hmm
I love Cuddles.
David Morrissey. That's who
We
we're
want
talking
him
about.
at the camp.
We need Cuddles. Cuddles.
is that on canvas?
Huh? It's one of those little tile things.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah, Dave had it made for me. I
Barb, we
like
need to
it.
do our pictures like that.
Yeah. I told Carol if Casey and Oscar and Jake can get Michael Cudlets, we can do whiskey and cigars on the back porch with
Mhm.
him
Yes.
Yep.
as
I
an event.
love Michael Cutlets could be my second. Very
Your
easy.
second what? Oh, that second. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she has a second. I have a second. What's yours, Eliza? I
have a
got Ross and Teo.
I have a second and a third.
Well, who are they?
Well,
Melissa.
yeah, Jeffrey Dean, Melissa, and Samantha.
Yeah,
Okay.
those would be her top trio.
And boy, if I could get those three together, oh god,
Well, see,
I would explode.
Yeah.
I've got the Ross Teo, but I really like Tara, so having Tara around would be great too. I just have to fight Ben for her. So
Yes, you would.
No,
Yeah.
he's gone with Amy now. He likes Emma Bell.
actually, he really likes Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't like her?
Yeah,
The spunk that she's got. But yeah,
spastic for me. She makes me tired just watching her.
I meant more like Eliza, like the people that you've interacted with, though, because you haven't interacted with Melissa. So if you had a second to pull from, who would it be?
Well,
Mo,
yeah,
Yeah,
Mo,
she's
Harry.
Mo,
Mo's
Mo and Jeffrey,
Yeah.
Mo and Jeffrey.
Josh.
Yeah, because I've seen Jeffrey Dean 3 times now, and every time he's just fantastic. So yeah,
Okay.
Jeffrey and Mo's my second. So if Mo ever watches this, yes, Mo, I would sleep with you and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And man, I got him at the same time. Holy hell.
Oh Lord.
It's Carol.
That's the best.
Carol's gonna be like, I gotta send this to Mo.
I'm sending that to her.
Yeah, Mo and,
Okay.
and Jeffrey.
That's funny.
I just don't. I think Jeffrey would enjoy the camp. I just
I
don't
think he
know.
would have a blast.
I don't know how much is guarantee or anything. I would love for Hillary and Jeffrey to come together. I mean, she's got a huge fan base. I was listening to an interview she did the other day, which was so funny that she said her kids all know who Daddy is, because there's all this fan art on the walls, and she goes, they don't think I'm anybody. She's like, I don't. She's like, they ask, who's mom? Well, she's just mom, But so, and I'm like,
That's
no, we love Hillary.
funny. Yeah,
The other one that was a lot of fun at camp, and I could see him being a lot more fun, is Jordan, the one that played Eric.
Oh my God, Jordan was.
I would love to have him back.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was so much fun. If we could ever get Ross to come to the camp, I still want pasta night.
Spaghetti with Eric and
Mm-hmm.
Aaron.
Yeah,
That'd be fantastic.
yeah, I agree because he was so much fun.
Yeah. He's got the energy like Cassidy.
Yeah, and him out there on the fire
Dance
grill
floor.
just dancing around,
Yeah, it was fantastic.
fantastic. So
I'm still looking forward to Nicholas though. He looks like he would be fun.
I think Nicholas is gonna bring some energy for sure.
Or like I was telling you guys too, I saw a panel with Nicholas and Ross, and I was pleasantly surprised on how hilarious he was.
Yeah.
Cracking jokes up there, playing tricks on people. He's a character, so he's a good one.
Well, he had made the comment to, I think, to Casey and Jake and to his manager, Sean, that he wanted to do the camp event with Tom Payne. So I'm like, I guess they're good friends or something. I mean, like, yeah, bring on Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a little Jesus.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Then
say.
Dawn can go up and tell him that Jesus is
all
all
your fault.
Jesus' fault.
Yeah.
I could just listen to him talk all day.
Oh, I know.
We can all have shirts that says Jesus doesn't save.
Jesus save me.
Jesus loves me. I love how he always signs his autographs like that. Jesus loves you.
Oh, I'm gonna have one that says, Jesus, please save me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good lineup. So, I mean, it's shaping up nicely so far.
Yeah.
So,
I know Casey said for the MBAs to be praying. I don't know what we're praying for, but I've got a list. So I'll just pray for everybody on that list.
right. Just add some names to it that Casey doesn't have.
And if you haven't got your tickets, you better get them.
That's right. Yeah, because they have like what? I think the last count was like 50 inclusives left.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
How soon do they add the extra night? When do they start doing that?
I think it's first of the year. I think is what I've
Okay.
heard.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So if you're an inclusive and staying at the hotel and you're staying extra nights, make sure that you contact Casey or Jake. Contact Jake and find out how to add that extra night.
Not what's her name anymore?
Well, I don't know if they're going to be
Yvette.
if it's going
Yeah,
to be
we'll go.
or not.
We'll go through our vet, but we've just got to get the clearance from Jake on when we can start contacting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he'll let us know when it's good to go. So
Cool.
yeah,
Well, we ran over tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
no,
right.
don't apologize.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.